I love journalism, and I loved the catbird seat I had in writing the essay for Time magazine for a lot of years and a few other things. But it was not what I had wanted to do from the start. I wanted to be a serious writer. And I learned it here at Stony Brook, Southampton. I was just in the audience. It was a writers' conference, and we were all talking about writing, and I listened to Margaret Atwood, and I listened to Billy Collins, and I listened to E.L. Doctorow. And I realized, apart from the wonders of their writing, that these people had been doing what they wanted to do their whole lives, and I had not. And I swear, on the spot, I changed. So it's been very lucky, but only because I was lucky enough to sit and watch people whom I continued to admire leading the lives they had meant to lead. Writers are very good watchers and listeners. You will put a writer in a situation where I put normal people to contrast them with, where normal people are. And normal people will be having civil conversations and noticing the kinds of things that allow the transactions to occur. A writer won't be anywhere near that. He'll be watching from above or below or the side or something, and even unconsciously, and gathering information of which he will make use. I always know that it's nice to pay attention as much as I can, because at some point I'm going to make use of it. It was at Harvard, and it was a guy named John Keller as a mentor, as a teacher, as a guide. The thing that he taught me, though, he taught me Irish literature, to be sure, and 18th century English poetry, too, which was another of his specialties, but that wasn't the thing. He taught me how to live. Everybody at Harvard knew something, but he knew how to live. For a young man to see such a person, and to see the success with which he lived, and the honor with which he lived, that was unforgettable. I remember teaching James Joyce's short story, Clay, from the collection Dubliners. And I was teaching the first page of it. I go very slowly on that story because it's a brilliant story, certainly the best in the collection. People think that The Dead is the best in the collection, but Clay really is. So I was going slowly through the page for a class, and there was a young woman from the islands, I think from the Dominican Republic, who could not have been more culturally apart from late 19th, early 20th century James Joyce. And there's a scene in Clay where they're dividing the bread, the barmbrack as it's called, so finely that you could not see the fissures in the bread. And she wrote, and she said, I don't know if this is right, but it seems to me the entire story is written that way. And at that moment, those are great moments in sports. Those are great moments for a teacher, because you see somebody who not only got it. I've been teaching that story for, 15 years. Nobody ever said anything like that. And when I told her that, her smile and my smile, that made teaching worth it. University and colleges are ripe for satire. At the same time, they're absolutely indispensable. And anytime you see a public event in which ignorance is rife, and you see some crazy mob doing some crazy things, you think, I'm awfully glad that I had the good luck to be in a place where I learned something.